So the main topic of this meetup was to talk about e-commerce, because we know that this is a critical period for a lot of them. And so we wanted to, we can do a smooth transition basically by explaining that a lot of e-commerce started to use Prismic by using slices. We saw a lot of clients like maids, a lot of users that just join Prismic and start using Prismic for slices because they were hitting some limitation by using their CMS, let's say their e-commerce CMS. So they were trying to do a lot of content, inspirational content, editorial content around their different products, but solutions like Magento or Shopify or PrestaShop or even headless e-commerce solution were not helping them to do this type of content. So they basically arrived on Prismic starting to use slices to build inspirational content around their product. And that was the first step and the first entry point that we got into this industry. And from there, we got a lot of feedback. So maybe you won't know. So basically, if we look at the transition, I thought that you wanted to talk. So basically,
I could say it. Yeah.
No.
So basically, people you like to use sections for their e-commerce website. That's what they needed. And then we said like, okay, we can go a step further, right?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the main case that basically those companies were reporting was the fact that when they were creating those inspirational content around product, they had the main problem that was, how do I showcase basically my product on those pages? How do I put my product coming from an external catalog in those pages? Especially
that often like you would have an e-commerce catalog with a lot of products, and the API often is not so scalable. I mean, it was like if you imagine like if you get a Shopify and you put it directly with your live website, there is a limitation in the API. Now, maybe there are ways to higher the limitation, raise the limitation, but at least there was that, and that we were like, okay, so you want your catalog to be shown in the pages that you are creating, in the inspiration pages that you created, right?
That's exactly that. And so we introduced a feature quite some time ago that is called integration field. And basically the purpose of this is to integrate basically your Prismic repository to an external source of data, so to a product catalog in the case of e-commerce. So we offered like connectors to Shopify, we offered connectors to integrate with your custom API in order to basically fit this use case. I'm creating a landing page with slices, and then I want to showcase a specific product from my catalog, and I can select this product coming from my external catalog and have the data rendered in my page, because by selecting this product, we were offering the data through the Prismic API.
Now, I want to ask a question here that we usually ask in the beginning, and we should ask it every time. Do we have content writers or like project managers, or at least people they are not developers, they don't develop? Because it's good to kind of maybe explain also a little bit these kind of things. So basically, yes. So you are building your page, and then you can add products from your catalog, and in the API you'll find the JSON of the product coming into the API, right? So that was great.
I'm waiting for some answers.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't seem to
exist.
To be the case.
For the content writers. So basically that was great, and integration field is a popular feature. People buy it for because they want to integrate with this kind of e-commerce platforms.
Yes. And we had a lot of people interested in that. So we had like more than 1,000 integration fields created in the platform, including like really big companies that were integrating basically their e-commerce website basically managed with Prismic to use slices, and integrating product coming from their catalog, coming from Magento through a custom API, coming from Shopify, from BigCommerce, from a lot of different sources. But
so let me explain you how it happens. Basically, what happens is that integration field will have some kind of. You can imagine, of course, we've done it there is a content writer editor here. Thank you for joining, Paul. So basically, what happens is like you have your Shopify, and what we do is like we cache basically the product catalog and index it in our side, so that when you are in your content editor, you can choose that product. And then we keep syncing. So basically, whatever delivers into the API, we refresh always the data from the source. So we keep like every now and then we go and refresh the whole catalog. So basically, if you have a small catalog, it happens very quickly, right? It's very quick to sync between your catalog and the cache that we put on our side. But if you have a catalog with 100,000 items, and we have people that have even more than that, we have companies that deal with more than these kind of products, it becomes a little bit slow to sync. Basically, it will take maybe, 15 minutes to sync the whole catalog if there are a lot of changes. And some people wanted more reactivity on the sync. So we thought about introducing another thing to make it quicker for some people. Another concept like integration, and I mean integration field, but not the pull model, but rather a push model.
Exactly. And so that's why we're introducing today, and that's the feature that is accessible in beta, so that you can ask, you can request access to this feature, and it's basically reversing the way we are doing a traditional integration field, meaning, as Sadek said, we are not pulling the data from your catalog, but you can integrate it to send the data every time the change is appearing in your system, meaning that the refresh will be way faster than the 30-minute frequency that we currently have.
So basically what happens here is that you have a write API, and you will push data, and then we'll cache that data that you push it, and then you will be able to choose it into your writer. But we will not sync anymore here. You are completely responsible of pushing data when it changes.
Exactly. So what I propose is to do a quick demo of the feature just to show you how it works and how you can use it in order to show you how you can basically use integration field to start rendering data coming from your external catalog through our API. So getting this and doing a quick demo. Okay, I think we are seeing my screen. So what I did here is that now, and as soon as you request the activation of the beta feature, that will arrive on all repo pretty soon. When creating a custom new integration field, you will have a custom API and an option not only to pull data from an endpoint, but to push data to Prismic. I already created a catalog here. That is my first product catalog. And by doing so, we will offer two different things. Basically, an endpoint, an API endpoint that you will be able to send data to, but also tokens and a way to authenticate your request to the API. So I will now switch to Postman. That is a tool used to send basically data to my endpoint. So I just set here my endpoint coming from the writing room. So meaning I have for my specific repository and my specific catalog an endpoint, and I'm able to just send data through this API. I might zoom in a bit. Send data that will be available both in the interface for editors to choose from, but also through the API in order to provide data to your end frontend. So in here, I'm passing 3 products: coffee from Brazil, coffee from Colombia, and a coffee from Thought Leader Coffee. And I'm posting basically through the API this body.
No, that keyword is me actually, because I'm writing on the iPad and it has some kind of noise. I guess it's rather me, not a mechanical keyboard. Sorry, Samuel, for that.
Maybe it's this now.
Yeah. The pipes.
So sending the data through the API, and starting here, I will have basically. I think I created the slides already that reference this catalog, but I will be able to basically select a slice that reference this specific integration field, and I will get the data coming from this external catalog that I can choose from. So basically, if I'm choosing the coffee from Brazil, let's say, I'm saving and I'm publishing this content. I will now have, not like this, I will now have the data coming from the external catalog available through the API. Body, my first slice, I imagine, primary. And in here, you can find basically, is it the first slice? No, it's the second one. Product showcase. Okay. I will zoom in for me, not having my glasses on. So I can find here the data coming from basically the body that I just passed for my integration field. So now let's say that I want to update basically my product. I will change both the title in the metadata, updated, but also the title in the blob. So the blob are the data that we basically pass in the API.
So basically you're simulating
a new request to update basically the content. I just need to send a new payload. On the same endpoint, we'll just identify the product thanks to its ID. I just got a 200. And now, if I look at the new master app that I get, I should get my updated data. Body. So item. The coffee from Brazil updated in the API. Really fast and allowing you to basically send for critical time critical changes, like I don't know, you are launching a sales a specific a flash sales on your website and you want to update the price of your product, you want to update basically the name, a discount,
like
you can pass that right away through the API. Once the sale is over, then send again the new price in through the API, and then this will be updated automatically. What is really good with this approach is also the fact that by providing this data through the integration field right API, we basically distribute the content. So we add a layer on top of your Shopify, on top of your Magento, on top of your BigCommerce or PrestaShop e-commerce website, and we basically you will enjoy basically all the caching capabilities and all the scaling capabilities that we offer for regular content, but also for your e-commerce system that we know sometimes is hard to scale because you have to host it yourself, you have to maintain the hosting, you have to basically manage it. So we offer the scalability out of the box because basically those data are now provided through our API, so we'll handle the scalability for you.
And this is something we provide already for our API. We thought like, okay, we can also provide it for other system integrations. So basically, like we have one company of like do betting online, and they have a lot of products they all the time update. So it's like very time critical, and they wanted like some higher ratio. And we saw a lot of clients that are interested in this other way. So there's one that is it syncs all the time automatically, so you don't have to have a system on your side that updates things. But the other case where you want actually to do it and you have your webhooks or your systems where anytime there is a change, you go and push something to Prismic, and that we support that as well, right?
Yeah.
So I have two comments here.
No, go ahead.
There's Jonathan that's saying, very excited about this. The only weakness Prismic had, in my opinion, has been the lack of a right API. So this is one of the cases of right API that we're solving here. It's about you have another system, right?
Exactly.
Like product catalog, or another like pricing system or stocks or whatever it is, and you want to funnel it through the API so that you have one API that you call. Well, that could be a good way. You push it and then you link it from the product through integration field, and it will happen. Now, I'm not claiming here that we solved all the right API issues. No. There is one of them. Now there are others, and we'll keep like exploring, and then we open features that are specific for these ones.
And that's a thing. Like we know that like having a right API is something that is heavily requested by people. But as we said pretty often in our forum, in our blog post, we want to understand basically the use case for all those needs when you ask for a right API. And this integration field is solving one. The one that people are requesting coming from e-commerce company basically was, I have a system, I have an e-commerce solution, and I want to send data to Prismic. But the problem was we didn't want to open a right API in the sense that you would have duplicated your data from your e-commerce system to Prismic. And basically it was complicated to understand now what will be the source of truth. So what we did is basically saying, okay, we offer integration field that is stating that your source of truth for your product data is your e-commerce system, and we just basically redistribute this content, scale it, and you can associate it with a product page, but you cannot maintain this content through Prismic. Basically, you cannot maintain the product data through Prismic. You can just
push it from another system.
Exactly.
It exists another system. It should exist there. It's in edition there, and then you need to sync it with Prismic. So I have also Jonathan, who said, how do we gain access to API integrations?
Okay, you just ask for it. So Jonathan, if you can just ask on the community, so community.prismic.io, an access to integration field, will activate integration field, both the pull connectors, but also the push one, if you're interested in this. This will be anyway like propagated to most of the repository in like let's say a week or 2 weeks period.
I see Cecile saying that's really exciting to see. If you're interested as well, you can contact us and we can enable it. I have a question from, I don't know if it's Thomas or Thomas, depends where you live. It's a bit difficult to set up the custom mocks, especially when you are dealing with the repeatable slices. So yes, mocks. First, let's maybe the first question I want to ask
is which subject, right?
Yeah,
you get
that's
back
the
to
question.
Slice machine. Okay.
So this is about Slice Machine, talking about the mocks. I guess it was like a time ago. I will delay it in the end, or should I answer it right now?
Well, maybe we can keep it for the QA and then move on for some.
We basically have 10 minutes left, so I don't know if we should. I mean, I would really would like to answer this. We'll keep one minute for the for this question. Also, there is about the repeated zone. From Maya, also we'll handle it by the end then, okay? If there are no questions about integration fields, so that I don't change it. Okay, go ahead with your slides.
No, but like, again, this is made for one purpose, that is like have a faster synchronization between your product catalog and your e-commerce system and Prismic. But
I see one very good comment here.
Okay,
and I wouldn't say it that way. The single source of truth makes a lot of sense. Exactly. So basically, this is what we said. Like, people were asking us for the right API so that they push content as documents in Prismic. And we said, no, this is not a good idea, because it will make multiple sources of truth, right? So the document will exist in Prismic and in your system, which means, like, what happens if people go and modify it in Prismic and then modify it also there? That will be a big problem. Right. Yes. So single source of truth. If the source of truth is your system and you update it there, we keep it there. We copy the data and we keep syncing in a single source of truth. So that's a very good comment, Jed. Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. So basically, what this offer is the way to basically synchronize your content way faster than before. Like, you don't have to wait for 30 minutes, but also give you an idea and a possibility to better integrate with also external services. External system that we don't provide an integration to yet. So if you want to basically connect with your Magento e-commerce, your Magento catalog, you can build a plugin for Magento that basically will send data to Prismic every time you do a change, and this will make the process way easier for you. Now, we are still anyway working on new integration at the moment. The next one that is coming and that will come before the end of the year is an integration with PrestaShop. This we are currently working on and finalizing the different integration, basically, the different work needed to integrate properly, and we'll provide that before the end of the year so that you can start integrating with PrestaShop properly. We know that some of our clients are already looking at that, looking for that, basically, and that's something that we are really excited about.
Do you have other integrations? If you need other integrations, please send in the comments. Of course, you can implement your own integration. There is a format that you need to implement, and you can do it yourself, but we try to make some integrations out of the box, right?
Exactly.
You wanted to talk about a bit scheduling, or that's it?
I forgot. I forgot in the flow of presenting the integration field right API, but there is a feature if you are a content writer, but even if you are a developer, that you should probably introduce to your team if you are managing an e-commerce solution. We have probably the most sophisticated scheduling system in any CMSs out there that we call the releases. This is
who knows releases? Who uses releases basically in the people that are around here? You can
Lucy knows.
Lucy knows who's like.
There is a latency to wait for the answers.
Yeah, so go ahead. So continue, and I will tell you afterwards.
So releases are a feature that allows to do different things. First, to set to group a set of changes in the same release. So basically, if you are preparing a sale let's say for Black Friday, and you want to do changes on your home page, but also introduce new product pages, introduce some, like I said, flash sales, discounts on your product, you can basically group all those changes in one release. What this will do is two things. First, allowing you to preview all the changes at once. So basically, when you will click on the preview button for a release, you will be able to browse your website as if all those changes were published. And this is a very powerful feature because it allows you to basically see your website at a future state, at a later state.
So basically, you package all your changes together in the release, you preview them. And the thing is, you can have as many releases as you want, right? It's not limited.
So basically, you're launching a flash sales at 12, and you are willing to put some... Midnight. And you want to update your home page, multiple product page, discount some products. You group all this in a release, and then at midnight, everything will be scheduled. But you will have had the opportunity. You would have had the opportunity before to preview all your changes. It's a complicated sentence. Now, if you want to schedule just after that a change at 2, you can schedule a second release that will go live at 2, again without having to basically wake up in the middle of the night to do all your changes and to click on the publish button. And that's a feature that I wanted to present. I forgot to present it, but we have a lot of resources on YouTube or in the different product meetup that we did in the past. So if Noah or someone can share the link, it will be awesome.
So basically, releases. You can have many of them, and you can preview them because they are different APIs, right? You can preview the changes on top of what's published. So each release will be previewing all the changes on top of published, and this is unique to Prismic. I see many people actually use releases. Several people talked about releases here, so they use them. And there is an interesting case that I would like to look at afterwards. Samuel described about deploying the build on Netlify, but I will try to read it when I'm like after the meetup. We're done here, right? So basically, what we talked about the slice contest. So basically, the winners. The slice contest, the winners. Then there's another contest that we're starting about e-commerce. The theme is e-commerce, okay, and we'll give you the details in the blog and on Twitter. And then will be the big prize contest on March, where we'll talk all the candidates for all the other contests, and we'll make a big one. And we're thinking about a trip to Paris, all covered, all included. That's the thing. And then we talked about different features that we released and that are really interested if you are managing an e-commerce website. Slices to create landing pages and inspirational content for your product in order to rank properly in search engine and to create paying campaigns. Integration field in order to basically in your landing inspirational content and landing pages push product data from your e-commerce system. A new release for this integration field, allowing you to basically update your content way faster than just waiting for the 30 minutes delay. So, but using the right API.
Exactly. And
then we reminded you of releases and how to
use it. And I hope that this week that we know is critical for most of you will happen, like will be good, and that everything will be good on your side.
Yeah, we're used to this period, so we have increase in API calls, but this is something we like actually in this period. We know that there's an increase in API in the rate of API, but everything is set up for this, so there's no worry about that. I want to read a bit, so maybe we get if you have a few questions that you want us to handle now, please ask. Oh, I'm writing at the same time.
Nice.
You're using my account, Lucy.
So you had two questions, right? You had one.
I have many questions actually, and I would like if we have more, I'm happy to answer more. I can answer as much as we can until someone will shut us down.
So in 30 minutes, it's open that will shut us down.
30 minutes, 3 minutes, you mean?
13, no?
No, we're 02 already. How much is scheduled? 13, right? Okay, good. Okay, so we have some time now. So let's start. So a lot of people talked about variation, and I interrupted you, and you didn't complete the thing about variation.
Yes, variations.
We're talking about slices.
Yes. So do you want to introduce what is?
Yeah, introduce.
Okay, slice variation. So that's a concept that we introduced, I think, in our first product meetup. where we basically saw and discussed the fact that from time to time you have a lot of slices. You can have slices that look the same, basically, or almost the same. You have small variations, like a slice with buttons, a slice without buttons, a slice with dark mode or light mode that you want to provide. And when you want to handle all those use cases, basically your slice section in the Prismic editor becomes really crowded, and you have hard time managing that also in your code. So we introduced the concept of slice variation. That is basically for a specific slice, like my FAQ slice, I want to have a dark version. I want to have a version with buttons or without button, with image or without images, and how to manage that.
If you want to have a look on how that would look like, we in the
first product meetup, I think.
Also in the library that we ship by default in Slice Machine, it has this concept. You see, like there are some components that almost the same, but there is not the image. We don't have the image, or we don't have the button, or it has a different theme. So basically, this is the concept: to be able to group several components that are almost the same, but have some variations, basically, so that you don't have many components. You have one component and its variations.
And so basically at the moment we didn't progress in implementing it, but are currently still designing it. So we will probably at the end of this iteration, so basically in 2 weeks, have a first version of design that we can share with you, probably open an RFC to get your comment in order to see if this is fitting your use case and fitting your need. So stay tuned, and I would be happy to get your feedback on all that, where we'll be able to share designs and concepts so that we, once consolidated, we could start to implement.
So, but the idea is we want to get like the basics of Slice Machine working, and then we'll get into variations. The thing with variations is that we need to do a lot of user testing, because we want to make sure that we are capturing actually at least 80% of the cases. So if you are available to help, Dragana, I saw she's around, she's connected. Please tell Dragana that you would love to help us with testing variations, so that you give us your opinion and how many of your cases it can cover. And maybe you will give us some feedback that will allow us early on to integrate more things into the concept, so that we get it right and we don't have to change it after the fact, right? So if you like user testing, if you like to help our product grow, please let us know, and Dragana will reach out to you, and we'll go and implement these kind of things, right? I saw Maya said something about the repeatable zone. We should have more than one repeatable zones, instead of everything jammed inside items. I really would like to see a design that you were talking about, because we saw one case, actually, we talked a lot about it, where we have tabs, and inside tabs there is a text and then items.
Exactly.
And this is maybe one of the rare cases where we saw that we need more than one repeatable zone.
At least that's it's a pattern that we
saw. It's a pattern that we saw that repeats all the time. Now, if you have another case that is not that, the best if you send us a design. Like if you send us 1, 2, 3, 10 components that you say, okay, current slices don't cover this, and it's really
it's a pain.
It's a pain. It's not great. Please solve this. Okay, that's great. That's the best you can do for us. Send us these designs, this component mock-ups, and we will integrate them, and we'll think of a system that will integrate all these kind of cases. The more cases you give us, the best it is for us to solve.
Maybe in that case I will add why we are asking that, and why we just don't implement multiple repeatable zones. We discussed it
that's important, right?
Multiple times, but what we see is basically when you are configuring a slice, when you are defining the model of a slice and configuring the different fields, you are basically designing the experience of your marketing team at the end, because they will be the one using and maintaining the content. And if we start to do too much nested elements, too much repeatable inside a repeatable or stuff like that, we might have an interface that will be really, really hard to understand for marketing team. And that's why we are not willing to enter this right now, like entering the fact that we have repeatable inside of repeatable or multiple repeatable zone, because we want really to have the design and see if we can come up with a better pattern, a better design, basically to support this.
Like maybe a bit more specific, but still covers, because repeatable and repeatable or multiple repeatable is the generic, right? Maybe we can make something more specific. So in the user experience, we can capture that so that the editors understand what is it about, and they understand how can they basically modify it and change it and interact with it. That's why understanding what are the components, so that maybe we can do something that looks like in some way to the components, like we did, for instance, for the grid view. The grid view is like, okay, maybe it can look a little bit more than like what it looks on the website. So would like to capture these. So, throw at us designs of components and tell us like, this doesn't work. That's it. Just the text. I have this design. It doesn't work with the slides. I don't know how to do it. That's enough. Throw it in the community. Send it to Dragana. Any way you send it on Twitter, we will take it and we will consider it. And this way we'll advance on variations quicker. So thank you, Maya, for the question. And please, I would like to see the cases that you can cover. The more, the better. Another thing from, I said, that's the thing I was talking about just before, from Thomas. It's a bit difficult to set the custom mocks, especially when you are dealing with the repeatable slices. So there are several things. There are several things that I want to talk about here. The first one, I want to understand from people that use Slice Machine today. Let's take the idea in abstraction, okay, without the specificities that makes it maybe annoying today. Do you think that having mocks, imagine in a world where we can generate mocks that are perfect or close to perfect or nice enough to fit into your design, do you think it's a good feature? Do you think that it adds productivity for you if we continue proposing this value of generating mocks? Of course, if we get into generating mocks that are proper enough, because that's the important thing. If you think that it's adding value, if you see value for it, there are several things that we are already working on to make it better. I guess even Hugo wrote an RFC.
Yes.
You're going to publish that thread on community, and we'll have the RFC.
We can already share the RFC there.
Yeah, maybe someone can find the RFC. Lucy, maybe if you don't have enough things to write from my account, then you can write that. But basically, if you okay, Samuel says totally. That's great, Samuel. So we need to get to something that is customizable enough but quick enough. And if it's not fine, if it's not good enough, then you can write your own custom mocks, and that's fine. But we for most of the fields, if we can generate something that is good enough, that's great. I like the mocks, saves developments and testing time. Okay, great. So the idea seems to be good, but now we want to get it better to generate the right mocks. Hugo wrote, okay, I personally just published the RFC. So this is the RFC that
Hugo wrote. And basically it's detailing how to better provide mocks for rich text field, but also the different options that we could offer to offer better mocks for images. I think we think that those are the main ones that are that needs mock and better configuration for mocks. But maybe we are wrong, and maybe we need better mocks configuration for dates and stuff like that. So let us know. But at the moment, the main work, the main focus of this work was around rich text and images, in order to provide better configuration, so that basically the mocks fit your design and that you can use them properly for your development.
But the thing is easily so to get it like very on the simple terms. You have these mocks, and maybe the idea could be like, okay, this is a paragraph, then we can generate a paragraph. This is a one-liner text. Okay, we generate one-liner text. This is more a blog post. Okay, we can generate different blogs of paragraphs and images. So basically, it's more about describing what the content you want it to look, instead of like going like fine-tuned. And if that doesn't fit, I mean, we try to do it like clever enough, because with what you give us as input, like the kind of thing you want to see, and with whatever you chose in the model, we can mix these two things and get a mock that is proper enough. And if we do this right, then maybe it will save 80% of the cases, and for the cases that you don't like, then you go and you write your own custom mock, and we'll give you an editor for that. I guess this could be the best of two worlds. So you get the productivity, but in the right places, you want to write your own mock, and then you will get that. Or a range, like you can get it like, okay, I want a number between this and that. That's easy for a number, then you can get the range. So these kind of things. And then if it goes out of this, then you can write your own. So that's basically the idea. But you can read the RFC. If you don't agree with things, comment on it. We will take it into consideration and we'll implement it. And as you always, you can help us also with the implementation for like people that want to become our heroes as well. So this is another. I want to come to something related to Write API. You're saying like we don't have time. 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes. Let me choose one. Cecile talked about speaking about Write API. One change which we would love. You would like this.
Tell me.
Is something that would allow to edit a bunch of fields in a bulk. For example, when we need to update a bunch of links, since they are now being redirected to a new system with a different URL.
Okay. Okay. That's not something that comes often. It looks like Cecile, does it look like some kind of find and replace, basically, in your idea?
Probably like all the links that start with this, they redirect or something like this. I think so, but maybe Cecile can, something like this. But Cecile maybe can comment if it's not the case.
Like a DB replace.
Okay, that's more about scripting the content, right?
Yes. So okay,
that's
fair. Yeah, that's fair. It will mean though that
Cecile said yes.
It will mean though that we first need to be able to provide you all the documents that reference this field, basically.
We need to find a way how to do that, or they find it and then they put IDs and say like update all of this and I want to change that field,
like an export of everything.
No, just you say like that field I want to change it.
Okay. So I honestly don't know. I never thought about this use case before for the Write API.
But here I want to say something. I mean, no, I'm going like really like on the top of my head, and maybe I'm completely wrong, right? This case talks about links. But maybe it's about more finding a central place for links where you can change it for everywhere. Like if you are linking to something external, and you will say like, okay, I want to change the links wherever it happens and change it to this new link. Maybe it's more about the link management instead of like a Write API. Now, of course, Write API can solve this problem, but is it more about link management, or are there other cases than links that you would use? I guess we are.
So if it's top, what will be awesome, Cecile, is that you share basically your detailed use case on the community so that we can think of it. Either it's link management or Write API, and we'll do what we need to understand the use case and to find a solution for that.
Right. I had another thing, but I guess we're I don't know. I guess we're over with time. If this stops at some point, you can close the feedback window and refresh. Otherwise, here I'm saying I will keep answering questions after that, but I'm seeing here, thank you very much for being here.
Yes.
Thank you for participating to the contest. It was really great, and that's why we want to repeat it, because I love this energy and that connection that we got. We should continue it. Now we'll continue answering questions. If you get this pop-up feedback, you close it, you refresh, you will see us here, I guess, until it goes completely down. So, I mean, it will stop completely. But let me answer a few other questions now that we still can. There were a question like up there, but I forgot what was it, and I don't see it on the screen because it already scrolled. Maybe someone, maybe Nuha can send it to me. There were like other questions that the ones that you told me about. What was it?
Thanks, Agnel. Thanks for your submission. It was awesome.
I will talk about it in the community, as Cecile said. Thank you very much. That will help us a lot.
Yes.
Let me see other things.
Finding some questions. stays on my mind.
Yeah, we extended. Yeah, okay. Like, okay, this is one of the things I got it, but there's another one. There were two, so I will tell one of them, and then there's another that I don't remember. Maybe someone can find it. But about Prismic, and someone told like it will be nice to have the writing room working on mobile, or I don't know, maybe to be responsive or working on mobile.
Yes. So that's something that people told us about a couple of times and multiple times. We didn't start any work on that. Again, before starting that and before porting the whole interface into mobile, we would like to investigate the different use cases specifically for mobile. Are you going to, for example, update a complete document directly there, or is it to manage the scheduling, to manage publication, or to preview also maybe content into a mobile resolution? So all that we'll need to look at it and to think about it. That's not something that we tackled yet, and that's not something that is currently a priority, but anyway is still on our radar, and that we need to keep in the back of.
So actually we would love to do it.
Yeah, of course.
But we're starting, let's say, like we're starting that work. We started with a builder, basically with a model builder. Now we have a model builder in basically the slice builder is a model builder. And then we slowly go, and then at some point we will work on the editor as well. It's not something that's scheduled for now, so please no expectations.
Yes.
But we would love to have that kind of editor also running on mobile. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
exactly that. I'm the like we do some kind of bad cop, good cop, where I say basically no, it's not a priority now, and Sadek.
This is basically what I said, man. I mean, I exactly said that. I said it's not a priority, no expectations. We would love to do it.
We'd love to.
But we should keep always the right priorities,
Yeah,
and I think it's reasonable to say like we can. Prismic dashboard is React. Yes, it is in React, right? The dashboard.
Yes.
So here you're answering the question. Thank you, Samuel, for talking about this. So basically, we're moving parts slowly, parts of the writing room into React. The dashboard, you can see it. It's in React.
Yes.
We have the model builder is in React as well.
Next, yes.
So is a Next. So we're moving slowly things
Parts.
into React, parts to React. Now that we're working on the list, right, to move it to React.
So that's also a question.
You didn't want to talk about it, right?
No. I'm good with that. But so basically, we are migrating most of our front into React for different purposes, because we introduce new feature, as you see, in the past meetups, like in the last 3 meetups, we introduced like major features, and so we try to keep this pace basically by introducing major feature every month.
So basically, this is the thing, actually.
And
yeah, go ahead.
What?
I mean, since we are doing this editor in React, it will be responsive, right? We'll build it responsive.
So the list will probably be responsive, and then the editor too. Now to be able to, because the question and the context of the question was to provide also a mobile app, that's something that we need to consider. And again, like
they said, all responsive could be good.
Would it make sense? Yes, but would it make sense to have the whole system responsive or not? That's the whole thing that we need to figure out. But at least having that would be a good thing.
So maybe the editor responsive, and then a special mobile app that has some kind of limited functionality for some cases. We need to capture what are the cases for a mobile app. I guess that will be better. Like maybe publishing a release or looking at the release and having notifications is a good thing.
Looking at your schedule,
schedule, these kind of things.
Being able to launch a preview on your mobile phone. Exactly.
I want also to. There's another comment if you wish.
I'm happy to do more.
Okay. So basically, I didn't say that. Yeah, the December meetup. I forgot. Please subscribe to the December meetup. It will be on I guess the 14th of December or 16th.
I don't remember.
16th. Edward will tell you the date, but there is a link here. We did it in advance. We could wait, but it was already just 2 days before Christmas. That's why we put it earlier. And the theme will be more holidays. We'll see, like maybe we'll have a tree. You wanted to have a Christmas tree here, right?
Oh, yeah, if we can.
We can, and we'll see.
Be good. Oh, another question. Yes, Bob. The preview is not working on Slice Machine. We are fixing it at the moment. That's a bug that we are tackling at the moment currently. I'm sorry.
Only on Chrome.
Only on Chrome. So you can fall back to Firefox. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you, Lucy, for answering the question. Yeah, it's on the 16th. So please subscribe now to the next event. It will be like more holiday event, I guess. We'll see what kind of topic. We'll tell you about it before more. I have two questions that I wanted to handle. There's one question. There were one question like really up there. I don't even remember who said it, who asked it. I'm sorry, but it was about like more asking about the right API because having like someone is having a lot of locales.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to push from other systems of translations, basically.
Okay.
And that's I know that you like it, and that's why I talked about it. Maybe did we talk about it before?
I don't think so.
You didn't think so? Okay.
I think that's a question that is very interesting and that we could probably address more in depth for in a next product meetup. But integration with translation services is something that is on our radar. We are basically working a lot into improving workflows, not only translation but whole workflows in the tool basically. So collaboration between editors and publisher, collaboration around the review process, but also on the translation process. And this is a part of it. So we are currently working on basically putting in place the how do you call
the
that?
list.
The roots, the
foundations.
The foundations of this system. So we will probably have something to share in the coming months. And
so we want that kind of integration with translation systems or some kind of workflow of translations, and we want to work on it natively so that Prismic supports natively that. That's one thing. The other thing also related to locales was about
as a question you mean, or
there's a question.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a question about locales that we had is about man, you made me forget it. What was the locales question?
I don't know.
Yeah, notifications.
I cannot read what's in the screen. I'm trying really hard, but
so, notifications. So people say like maybe if we have submission, I don't know if it was exactly about locales, but if we have submissions of changes, like someone does changes, can we get from another locale? It was about if I am in a locale and I publish something, can someone get notified about the fact that something changed or something like that?
Okay.
Notifications, basically.
Okay. So again, that's I'm throwing a general answer here, but we are like that's the whole question about the workflow that we are trying to see how we basically can provide better tools to people to exchange on the tool, to collaborate, and to fasten the workflow. So notification is one part for sure, because you need to ask for translation. You need to tell people and notify people when your translation is ready to be reviewed or ready to be published. So all that is a big package that we'll try to cut into pieces and release progressively.
Right? So the thing is, we tell you all this information, but we count on you not to have expectations. The moment we start working on it, we will tell you. Exactly. So today we are just imagining things, gathering feedback, structuring this feedback, and we're implementing other things. When we get to that, we tell you this is now we're starting to work on this, and then you will help us. But for now, it's more about like structuring the feedback and understanding what exactly the thing to be done.
And we started the work. We started this work by gathering a lot of feedback and gathering a lot of insights that led us to implement, for example, roles per locale that we are still improving, that we are still working on, and that's something that basically we'll continue to work on again in this whole process of completely improving the workflow and the way you collaborate in Prismic.
Okay, but that's great. I guess we covered a lot of things here, right?
Yes.
I don't know what kind of questions we can get more than that, but maybe we can handle them in the other one. Don't forget to subscribe to our next event. Also, check out for the next contest. We'll give you details about it. What others? So the next meetup is the 16th of December.
Yes.
The contest, we'll put it on Twitter and on the blog. And the details of that.
Yeah. If you're interested in testing integration field push, you can ask access to the beta on the forum on community.prismic.io and see you on the next product meetup, I would say. Yeah,
see you on the next meetup. Thank you very much for being around. Thank you for giving us all these questions, all these suggestions, the feedback, the work that you did on open source and on the components. That's really great. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good week.
Have a good week and see you next time.